Hello and welcome to my Stretch for Fitness course. The goal of this program is to teach you how to safely stretch your entire body in order to maximize everyday movements and performance for sports and resistance training. I'm going to give you the course breakdown and what you will be learning. Section 1 is the introduction, and this is what we are covering now. Section 2 is the biomechanics and science behind stretching. This is where you'll learn why it is important to stretch, water and hydration, the 8 most common mistakes and how to avoid them, the difference between dynamic and static stretching, and when to do them for maximal results, yoga for stretching, and how to warm up before resistance training. Section 3, 4, 5 is the fun part, the exercises and routines. Here you will get access to 14 dynamic stretches and 29 static stretches for a total of 43 exercise videos. This is where you'll learn how to stretch each body part effectively for maximal results in movement and performance. You'll also get 1 dynamic full body routine and 2 static stretching routines to follow. Section 6 is the bonus materials. You will get information on the best stretches for low back pain, stretch routines, a healthy skincare guide, an immune system guide, a muscle summary sheet, your body on sugar sheet, a fitness calendar, an ab exercise sheet, and 10 easy ways to distress sheet. Section 7 is the conclusion and ending thoughts. This is where we review the most important aspects of the course. Did you know our bodies were designed for movement? We walk, run to catch the late bus, and we use movement to get out of bed. So, in order to move properly, we need to be flexible. The number one reason why you should stretch is to increase flexibility. So, what is flexibility? Flexibility is defined as movement in a series of joints and length in muscles that cross the joints to induce bending, movement, or motion. If you're not flexible, everyday movements become harder to do. So what is stretching? Stretching is a process of putting particular parts of the body into a position that will lengthen the muscles and associated soft tissues. Stretching is definitely one of the most neglected components of fitness, but it is so important to do. Stretching also helps to decrease stress, improve blood flow and circulation, reduce wear and tear on the joints, and reduce the risk of injury. We all know what stress feels like. Your goldfish has a rare form of cancer, and your boss is yelling at you to finish a project. Stress can produce a number of undesirable responses in your body, like anxiety and tension. Did you know a regular stretching routine has been shown to reduce mental tension and may also decrease anxiety and depression? When we move and stretch, we create blood flow and circulation throughout the body. This allows for enhanced transportation of oxygen and nutrient-rich blood throughout the system. This will help you recover faster from playing sports, resistance training, and cardiovascular workouts. Stretching also plays a role in reducing injuries. When your muscles become tight and tense, your opposing muscles become weakened, producing unnecessary wear and tear on various joints and structures within the body. A regular stretching routine helps to ensure the muscles on each side of the joints is able to move freely and in all directions. So this allows for complete range of motion and less stress on the body. Think of your body like a car engine on a cold winter day. The car works and functions best after the engine has been warmed up. Your body works the same way a car does. There are 2 types of stretching I do with my clients. They are static and dynamic. I use dynamic stretches as part of their warm-ups, as this helps to increase their body's core temperatures and to prepare their bodies for movements to come. A cold muscle and tendon has a greater likelihood of injury, so stretching is often considered an important part of injury prevention. When you woke up this morning, was your mouth dry or was your urine dark yellow? If you had any of these symptoms, you were most likely dehydrated. When your body is dehydrated, it means your body has an insufficient amount of water. The body does not function well when it is dehydrated, and some symptoms are fatigue, mental confusion, joint stiffness, muscle tightness, and loss of short-term memory. Our muscles are made up of 70% water. When you're dehydrated, your muscles are also dehydrated. They cannot extend and contract in a way they are meant to when fully hydrated. So basically, dehydration makes them inflexible. Our joints are also lubricated by synovial fluid. This is an oily water-based fluid that is manufactured by your body to keep your joints functioning properly. So, what happens when you're dehydrated? If the fluid is depleted, joint stiffness and muscle tightness is usually the result. Add short-term memory loss to the symptoms and you're not having a good day at all. Water is also involved in hundreds of chemical reactions in the body. It also provides protection to the body and helps regulate body temperature. Water is also the main solvent for fluids such as blood and saliva. A good general rule to follow to stay hydrated is to drink between 8 to 12 glasses of water a day. If you weigh 100 pounds, you would drink between 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. If you weigh 200 pounds, you would drink between 8 to 12 glasses of water a day. Also factor in how much exercise you do, what type of work you do, and the climate. If you sweat more, then you would need to drink more water. Number 1 is stretching too hard. Stretching should never be painful, and going too deep into a stretch can result in a torn muscle. So a good rule to follow is to slowly ease into your stretches. It is okay to feel slightly uncomfortable, but a stretch should never hurt. If a physical therapist says to you, "No pain, no gain," stay away from them. If you notice tightness in one muscle, just repeat the same stretch multiple times without pushing too hard. Number 2 is not warming up. You should actually warm up before stretching, especially for static stretching. A pre-stretching warm-up will increase your body's core temperature to make your muscles more pliable and generate more blood flow to the muscles and connective tissues. A simple warm-up could consist of a fast-paced walk or a bike ride. I always do a quick 4 to 5 minute stationary bike ride before I do my static stretching. The idea here is to prepare your muscles to be stretched. The goal of the warm-up is to raise your heart rate and respiratory rate to increase blood flow. This will help to loosen up the muscles and help to avoid any injuries that could be caused by a cold muscle. Number 3 is not holding the stretch long enough. For static stretching, the bare minimum you should hold is 15 to 20 seconds. At the 15-second mark, your muscles start to relax and lengthen. To see any real improvements in flexibility, hold each stretch for 20 to 40 seconds and repeat 2 times in the same area. Dynamic stretching is more movement-based, and I will be covering this more in the upcoming lessons. Number 4 is using improper stretching technique. Another mistake I see people make is doing an improper stretch at the wrong time. There are multiple types of stretching. You want to choose the correct one for your fitness levels and the type of activity you plan to engage in. This will help you to avoid any injuries during your workout and to enhance your everyday movements and performance. The 2 most common stretching techniques I will be going over in this course is dynamic and static stretching. Number 5 is not stretching often enough. The goal of stretching for the average person is to increase and maintain flexibility in your muscles. The goal of stretching for an athlete is to prevent injuries and perform at their highest level. So, Not doing enough stretching can cause your muscles to become shorter and tight. This will limit movement and create stiffness and discomfort. So try adding stretching to your daily routine, as it only takes a few minutes and it will help you move easier. Try to stretch every day or at least 3 to 4 times a week. Number 6 is not breathing properly while you stretch. Breathing properly can make stretching more effective. One good simple rule to follow is to never hold your breath while you stretch. Having a red face is not very attractive, and holding your breath makes your muscles tense. Breathing increases blood flow and delivers oxygen to your muscles. You want to breathe deeply and inhale slowly through the nose. When you exhale, let the air come from your mouth. This will help you to concentrate on the stretch and help the muscle to relax. Number 7 is stretching an injured muscle. It is never a good idea to stretch an injured muscle. An injured muscle tissue needs to heal first, and stretching will not speed up the healing process. It could actually make it worse and set you back. Once it is healed, you can slowly introduce light stretching back into your routine. Number 8 is stretching on a full stomach. You never stretch or exercise on a full stomach or right after you eat. Some stretching requires you to go on your back or stomach, and this can cause gastric juices to come up your esophagus and cause heartburn. It is best to wait at least between 1 to 2 hours after a meal or snack. Dynamic stretching is stretches done with momentum and movement. It is more functionally oriented stretches. Sport-specific movements are used to move the limbs through a greater range of motion. It involves whole body movements and moving a joint passed through a range of motion without holding the movement at its endpoint. This is usually repeated 10 to 12 times or 10 to 20 seconds. An example of dynamic stretching would be a person doing a walk lunge or leg swings. This type of stretching can be done before or after a workout. It is mostly suited to do before a workout as it warms up the muscles for the upcoming activity. Here is an example of dynamic stretching done before an exercise. If you were to do a barbell back squat or lunge, you could do a standing leg swing going forwards and backwards. You could do this for 15 to 20 seconds and then switch to the other leg. This simple movement would warm up the muscles of the quadriceps, hamstrings, hips, and glutes. Here is the science behind dynamic stretching and why it is important to do. Your body has many mechanisms that need to be activated and stimulated. When you put your body through a series of stretches, it sends signals from the brain to the muscle fibers and connective tissues in that area to prepare to do work. This is why it is important to always warm up before you exercise. When you warm up, your body's temperature begins to rise and blood is pumped to the working areas of the body. Getting good blood flow to the area of the working muscles is important in order to supply the area with the energy needed to do work. With the extra blood flow coming to the working area, the muscle fibers and connective tissues will gain more flexibility and range of motion. Many studies have shown that dynamic stretching can improve flexibility, increase power, and range of motion. What more could you want? Most people are familiar with static stretching, as it is commonly used in sports like martial arts and soccer. Static stretching is when you stretch a muscle or a group of muscles by holding the stretch for a period of time. It is usually held for around 15 to 30 seconds and can be repeated 2 to 3 times. This type of stretching is best suited to do after you exercise or do a resistance training workout. The reason behind this is when you hold a stretch for 15 to 30 seconds, it actually weakens the muscle. Your muscles can generate the greatest amount of force at its normal resting length. If the muscle is lengthened or shortened, it loses some power. Static stretching can be done before for an athlete and certain sports like martial arts and MMA. So basically sports that require the body to be very flexible. But you would do them a few hours before the event or training. So this would allow the muscle to return to its normal resting length and strength. Having a weak muscle is counterproductive if you are planning to lift heavy weights or use maximal force in a sport. An example would be doing a static chest stretch for 15 to 20 seconds right before doing my bench press. This would weaken my pectoralis muscle and negatively affect my bench press power. Static stretching also helps to lengthen a muscle. As we have already learned, it is never a good idea to do static stretching with a cold muscle. Stretching a cold muscle can lead to an injury and unwanted pain. After you exercise, your muscles are warm, so that is why it is best to do static stretching after. Here's the science why static stretching makes you more flexible. When a person stretches, the muscle lengthens but does not stay that length. So, why do people become more flexible after stretching? This all has to do with your nervous system. The nervous system is the master conductor, determining how far a person can stretch. Nerve endings are dispersed throughout the muscles and tendons. If a stretch does not feel safe for a muscle, those nerves will fire a message. And that message is pain and resistance. This is why it takes time to become flexible. The nervous system has to be trained through the repeated stretch. And this process is called stretch tolerance. Yoga has been around for 5,000 years, and it is an ancient practice that involves physical poses, concentration, and deep breathing. It is great for balance, flexibility, and building strength. There are many forms of yoga such as Hatha, Bikram, Vinyasa, and Kundalini. Each style will help with flexibility, but the one that is most related to this course is Hatha Yoga. This type of yoga is practiced at a slower pace with focus on breathing, controlled movements, and stretching. Hatha Yoga can be done on its own or after exercise as a cool down. If you want to increase your flexibility, study the yoga poses and learn how to breathe properly with the stretches. I have included some yoga stretches with the static stretching. Once I studied yoga and became certified, it enhanced my stretching abilities. You can follow the 2 beginner or 2 intermediate yoga stretch flows on YouTube, or you can download my yoga fitness app for Android. All you have to do is download the Yoga for Stretching sheet, which is found below this lecture to access all the information. You have already learned how important it is to warm up your entire body before exercise. Like I said before, this is one of the most neglected aspects I see in the gym other than in correct form. Your body works the same way a car engine does. A car engine functions best when it is driven lightly first and has a sufficient amount of fuel. If you rev your engine when it's cold, you will most likely damage it. The purpose of a warm-up is to prepare you physically and mentally before physical activity. Warming up also increases your heart rate, and this will increase your blood flow. So, this will enable more oxygen to reach your muscles. Two of the best ways to warm up before resistance training is dynamic stretching and walking. To use walking as a warm-up, you can go for a fast-paced walk outside or use a treadmill. Walking is one of the most natural forms of movement. You can also use other cardio machines in the gym to warm up. Some examples are the rowing machine, cross trainers, bike, and elliptical. To use dynamic stretching as a warm-up, you can perform a series of stretches that will warm up your entire body to create good blood flow. So, dynamic stretches can also be functional and mimic the movement you're doing. An example would be doing standing chest pushes or chest expansions before doing a bench press. Another example would be doing bodyweight squats or leg swings before doing barbell back squats. The absolute minimal time that is required to warm up before resistance training should be around 5 minutes. If you can do 8 minutes, that is even better. I have experimented with both 5 and 8 minutes and found 8 minutes to be far more effective. A perfect warm-up would look like this: 5 minutes on the treadmill and 3 minutes of static stretching. But unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world, and we are constantly pressed for time. The main point here is to never skip your warm-up and do what you can. So, if you can only do 3 minutes, that is fine, as doing something is better than doing nothing. This is an easy movement to do before performing push-ups or a bench press. This stretch can be done seated or standing. Start with your hands at shoulder level and arms open. Bring your arms together and then bring your arms back to starting position. Make sure the movement is fluid and do this for 15 to 20 seconds. This is suitable to do as a warm-up before most upper body exercises. Standing tall with feet shoulder width apart, with both arms hanging by your side. Move your right arm upwards and towards the ceiling. Return to starting position and then do the same sequence for the left side. Keep the movement fluid and do this for 15 to 20 seconds. This is an easy movement to do before doing exercises for your chest, back, and shoulders. Standing tall with feet forward, with palms facing downwards. Start rotating your arms in small forward circles. Do this for 10 to 15 seconds, then gradually move to bigger circles. Do this for another 10 to 15 seconds, then return to starting position. Do the same sequence for the backward circles. This is an easy stretch to do after training back or biceps. Stand up or sit up straight and turn your left palm upwards. Place your right hand on your left wrist. Slowly straighten your left hand until you feel a stretch and hold this for 15 to 20 seconds. Repeat the same sequence for the right arm. This is an easy movement to do to warm up your upper body and core before playing sports. Begin with feet shoulder width apart and your arms bent at 30 degrees. As you turn to the right side, your left heel will come off the ground. When you turn to the left side, your right heel will come off the ground. Make sure you move in a slow and controlled manner. Do this for 15 to 20 seconds. Do you have tight hips? Give this movement a try. This is great to do before playing sports. Standing tall with feet shoulder width apart and hands on hips. Move your hips in a small circle going clockwise for 10 to 15 seconds. Then make the circle bigger for another 10 to 15 seconds. Return to starting position and repeat the same sequence for going counterclockwise. This is an easy exercise to do before playing sports or lower body training. Start with your feet hip width apart and your hands on your hips. Keeping both legs slightly bent, lift your left foot into the air and move it away from the body. Repeat the same sequence for the other leg. Do this for 15 to 20 seconds. This is suitable to do before performing exercises like the back squat, leg press, and front lunge. If needed, use a chair to balance yourself. Holding a secure object with your left hand, swing your left leg gently back and forth for 15 to 20 seconds. Repeat the same sequence for the other leg. This is an exercise for your legs, but can also be used as a stretch and warm up. Start by standing feet shoulder width apart with hands on your hips. Step forward with one foot until your leg is bent close to 80 degrees. Return to starting position and repeat the same sequence for the other leg. Keep your back straight throughout the movement and do 5 repetitions for each leg. This is an exercise for the legs, but can also be used as a warm-up. Start with your feet hip width apart and your toes pointing straight ahead or slightly outward. Place your hands on your hips or in front of your body. Squat down into a deep position or until you feel a stretch. Keep your back straight and weight on your heels as you return to starting position. Do 10 to 15 squats. This is suitable to do before most sports such as soccer and martial arts. Start by standing with feet close to each other. Bend your legs forward slightly and put your hands on your knees. Start doing small circles going clockwise for 10 to 15 seconds. Next, do larger circles for another 10 to 15 seconds. Repeat the same sequence for the other direction. This is an exercise for the glutes, but also can be used as a warm-up. This exercise should be done on a mat. Start by going on all fours, which is known as tabletop position. Keeping your neck straight, slowly kick out your left leg until it is straight and then return to starting position. Repeat for the other side. Do this for 15 to 20 seconds. Do you need to warm up your entire body? Give this exercise a try. Stand tall with chest up and hands together in front of your chest. Begin the movement by jumping into the air. As you jump, move your legs out to the side and bring your arms outward at the same time. Once your feet touch the ground, jump back into the starting position and repeat the sequence. Do this for 15 to 20 seconds. This is a great stretch to do after training your chest. Stand up or sit down for this stretch. Put your hands behind your head and hold your elbows at ear level. Make sure your neck and back is straight. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and move your elbows back until you feel a stretch in your chest. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and return to starting position. This is another great stretch to do after training your chest. Stand and raise your right arm out to the side at head level. Keep your arms slightly bent and place your right hand on a wall or object and slowly turn your upper body away until you feel a stretch in your chest. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and then repeat for the left side. This is a great stretch to do after training your upper body and shoulders. Start on your hands and knees in tabletop position. Reach your arms forward and bend your knees until your forehead almost touches the mat. Make sure your palms are facing downwards and keep your arms slightly bent. You should feel a stretch in your upper back and shoulders. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Do this stretch after training your upper body, back, or shoulders. Stand under a straight bar or a tree branch. With hands shoulder width apart, start in a lower chin-up position. Keep your legs slightly bent and relax your upper body, and you should feel a stretch in your back and shoulders. Hang and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Do not do this stretch if you have any shoulder injuries. This is a great stretch to do after training your upper body, shoulders, or back. Stand with feet shoulder width apart. Leaning forward, grab a pole or secure an object with your left hand. Slowly lean back until you feel a stretch in your back and shoulders. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and then repeat the same sequence for the right side. Do this stretch after training your upper body or back. Start by going on your hands and knees in tabletop position. Move your left arm through your right side with palms facing upwards. Make sure your shoulders and cheek touch the ground. You should feel a stretch in your shoulders and upper back. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and then return to starting position. Repeat for the other side. Do this stretch after training the upper body or shoulders. Stand or sit down with your back straight. Bring your left arm across your body at chest height. Hold your left arm at the elbow with your right hand and gently pull until you feel a stretch. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, then return to starting position. Repeat the same sequence for the left arm. Do this stretch after training the upper body or shoulders. Stand or sit down with your back straight. Bring your left arm across your body at chest height. Hold your left arm at the elbow with your right hand and gently pull until you feel a stretch. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, then return to starting position. Repeat the same sequence for the left arm. This is a great stretch to do after training chest or triceps. Stand up or sit up straight. Lift your left arm above your head and bend the elbow back and place the left hand on your upper back. Use your right hand to gently push on the elbow until you feel a stretch. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and then repeat for the other side. This is an easy stretch to do after training back or biceps. Stand up or sit up straight and turn your left palm upwards. Place your right hand on your left wrist. Slowly straighten your left hand until you feel a stretch and hold this for 15 to 20 seconds. Repeat the same sequence for the right arm. This is an exercise for your low back, but it can also be used as a stretch. Stand with feet shoulder width apart and legs slightly bent. Hold a dumbbell above your chest. Exhale and slowly lower your upper body and do a hip hinge. Keep your back straight and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Return to starting position and do not do this stretch if you have a low back injury. Do you have a tight low back? Give this stretch a try. Start on your hands and knees, which is known as tabletop position. Hands are in line with your shoulders and knees in line with your hips. Inhale and arch your back by lowering your belly and lifting your chin. Hold and breathe for 10 to 15 seconds and then reverse a stretch by rounding up your spine and tuck your chin up to your chest. Hold and breathe for 10 to 15 seconds and then return to starting position. The side of your body, which is the obliques and serratus, are often neglected when it comes to stretching. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and knees slightly bent. With your palm facing downward, reach over your head with your left hand and leave your right hand on your hip. Lean over to the right side and breathe and hold for 15 to 20 seconds. Repeat for the left side. Do you have a tight low back or hips? Give this stretch a try. Lie on your back with your legs straight. Hands should be open with palms up facing the ceiling. Lift your left knee to your chest and turn over until your left leg is almost touching the ground. You should feel a stretch in your glute, hip, and low back. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and then repeat for the right leg. This is a great stretch to do to help alleviate low back pain. The arms extended pose is the perfect complement stretch to do right after. Lie on the floor with chest down and hands slightly above your shoulders. Keep your pelvis on the ground and inhale and slowly lift your chest upwards. Keep your arms bent and push with your hands. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and return to starting position. Your inner thighs, which is called adductors, are often neglected when it comes to stretching. Start by sitting on the floor with legs open and feet together. Place your elbows on your inner thighs. Put some pressure on your inner thighs and slowly tilt your chest forward until you feel a stretch in your inner thighs and hips. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and keep your back straight throughout the movement. Do this stretch after training your lower body or hamstrings. Sit on the floor with your left leg straight and the right leg bent. Make sure your right bottom foot is touching your left leg. Exhale and with your left hand, reach for your left ankle. Try to keep your back straight throughout the movement and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Repeat the same sequence for the right leg. Do you have tight hips and glutes? Give this stretch a try. Sitting cross-legged on the floor with your upper body upright. Reach forward until your hands are close or touching the floor. Hold this position and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Then reach with your left hand and grasp underneath your right leg. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, reach with your right hand and grasp underneath your left leg. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and return to starting position. This is a great stretch to do after training your lower body or quadriceps. Lying on your back with your head on the floor, bring your right knee to your chest with both hands, grasp your right shin and gently put some pressure until you feel a stretch. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and then repeat the sequence for the left leg. Do this stretch after training your lower body. Lying on your back with your head down, bring your left knee to your chest. Keep your right leg straight and grab your left heel with both hands and slowly turn it inwards until you feel a stretch in your hips and glutes. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and repeat for the right leg. This is an easy stretch to do after training your lower body and quadriceps. Stand tall with your feet 6 to 7 inches apart. Grab your right foot with your right hand. Make sure your left leg is slightly bent. Pull back gently on your right leg until you feel a stretch. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, then repeat for the other leg. Use a chair or stand close to a wall for balance if needed. This is an easy stretch to do after training your hamstrings or lower body. Start by lying on the ground. Slowly lift your right leg into the air and grab the back of your leg with both hands. Keep your leg slightly bent and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Lower your leg to the ground and repeat for the other leg. This is another great stretch to do to help alleviate low back pain. Lying on the ground with your back flat, exhale and slowly bring your knees towards your chest. Tuck your chin and grab both of your shins. Hold this position and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Play around with rocking side to side or moving the knees around in circles to explore releasing tension in the low back. Do this stretch after training your lower body or hamstrings. Start on your hands and knees, which is known as the tabletop position. Your hands are in line with your shoulders and knees directly below your hips. Turn your toes under and lift your knees from the floor. Keep your arms straight and stretch your heels to the floor. Straighten your knees without locking them. Keep your head between your upper arms and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Return to starting position. This is an easy stretch to do after training your lower body or hamstrings. Start in a seated position with legs straight and feet together. Exhale and slowly reach forward with both hands and touch your ankles or until you feel a stretch in your hamstrings. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. If touching your ankles is not challenging enough, touch your toes instead. This leg exercise can also be used as a stretch. Start by standing feet shoulder width apart with hands on your hips. Step forward with your right foot until your leg is bent close to 80 degrees. Make sure your left leg is slightly bent and keep your back straight. Hold the position and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and then repeat for the other leg. Do you have tight hips? This is a great stretch for opening up your hips and glutes. Start on hands and knees, which is known as tabletop position. Bring your left knee forward and bring it behind your left wrist. Place your ankle in front of your right hip. Slide your right leg back and straighten your knee. Make sure your right leg is behind your body. Draw your legs in towards each other to help keep your hips square. Gently lower yourself down and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Return to tabletop position and repeat for the other side. Tight hips are common from sitting too long. This is another great stretch for the hips and glutes. To begin, start on your back with your knees bent and your thighs parallel. Next, cross your left ankle over your right thigh, making sure your ankle bone clears your thigh. Pull your right knee in towards your chest, thread your left arm through the triangle between your legs, and clasp your hands around the back of your right leg. As you draw your right leg in towards you, press your left knee away from you. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and then repeat for the other leg. Do this after training your lower body or hamstrings. Start by standing tall with feet shoulder width apart and hands on your hips. Exhale and step to the left with your left foot and bend your legs slightly. Keeping your back straight, turn your right foot upwards. Keep your right leg straight and keep your hands on your hips or in front of you. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and to deepen the stretch, go all the way to the ground if you can. Hold and breathe for another 15 to 20 seconds, and then repeat the sequence for the other leg. Do you have tight calves? Give this stretch a try after running or training calves. Standing in front of a wall with feet shoulder width apart, bring your right foot forward and lean forward and put both hands on the wall. Make sure your feet are flat and in a staggered position. Lean into it and you should feel a stretch in the left calf. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and then repeat for the other leg. Welcome to my full body dynamic stretching routine. This routine will consist of a 5-minute warm-up. The breakdown is 2 minutes of dynamic stretching, 1 minute running on the spot or jumping jacks, then repeating the 2-minute dynamic stretching routine. We are going to start with chest expansions. This will stretch and warm up your chest and create blood flow to your upper body. Do this for 20 seconds. Next is leg swings. This will stretch and warm up your hips and glutes. Do this for 10 seconds for each leg, and this will create blood flow for your lower body. After leg swings comes arms up and down. This will warm up and stretch your shoulders and upper back. This will create blood flow to your upper body, and do this for 20 seconds. Next is trunk rotations. This will stretch and warm up your hips and obliques and create blood flow for your lower body. Do 10 seconds in one direction and then 10 seconds in the opposite direction. After trunk twists come rotational twists. This will warm up and stretch your abs, obliques, and hips. Do this for 20 seconds and this will create blood flow for your upper body. Last is knee rotations. This will stretch and warm up your quadriceps and knees. Do 10 seconds in one direction and then 10 seconds in the opposite direction. Welcome to my full body static stretching routine. This routine should roughly take around 5 to 6 minutes to complete. Remember to hold each stretch for 15 to 20 seconds and breathe. This routine is best suited to do after you work out as a cool down. We are going to start with your right ankle. Place your ankle over your left leg and keep your back straight. Move your right foot in a circular motion for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, we are going to stretch your IT band, which is the side of your upper leg. Hold your ankle with your left hand and gently push on your leg with your right hand. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to stretch your right hip next. With both hands, grab your right leg and gently pull it into your chest. Keep your back straight. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to continue stretching your hip. Grab your right foot with both hands and gently pull upwards. Keep your back straight and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, we are going to stretch your hamstring. Lying on your left side, keep your right leg slightly bent or straight if you can. Reach up with your right hand and grab your ankle. If that is too easy, grab your foot instead. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to stretch your right IT band again and left hamstring. Keep your left leg straight and right leg bent. Keeping your back straight, lean forward and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Come up and turn your upper body to the right and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Do not do this stretch if you have knee issues. You have stretched out the right side of your leg. Do the same stretches and sequence for the left leg before doing this next stretch, which is for the adductors. Next, we are going to stretch your adductors, which is your inner thighs. Bring both of your feet together and keep your back straight. Use both elbows and gently push on your inner thighs. Bend forward slightly and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to stretch your abdominals and low back next. Lying on your stomach with your hands slightly above your shoulders, inhale and lift your shoulders into the air, but keep your pelvis on the ground. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, we are going to stretch your upper back and shoulders. Go on your hands and knees and then move your hands slightly forward and then move your forehead towards the ground. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to continue stretching your upper back and shoulders. On your hands and knees, put your right hand through your left side and go on your right shoulder. Your hand should be facing upwards. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and then repeat the same sequence for your left arm. Lastly, we are going to stretch your hamstrings and calves. Going on your hands and knees, go on your toes and straighten your legs, but keep them slightly bent. Drop your heels and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and then slowly walk yourself up. Welcome to my full body static stretching routine. This routine should roughly take around 5 to 6 minutes to complete. Remember to hold each stretch for 15 to 20 seconds and breathe. This routine is best suited to do after you work out as a cool down. Let's start with stretching your hamstrings. Sitting upright with legs open, reach with your left hand towards your left ankle. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and keep your back straight. Next, with your right hand, reach towards your right ankle. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. With both hands, reach forward and try to touch the ground. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and keep your back straight as possible. We are going to stretch your quadriceps next. Lying on your back, exhale and bring your right leg to your chest. With both hands, gently pull your leg into your chest. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, we are going to stretch your hip. Using both hands, grab your right foot and pull it gently upwards. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to stretch your hamstring again. Keeping your right leg slightly bent, grab the back of your leg with both hands and gently pull. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, we are going to stretch your chest, low back, glute, and hip. With your legs slightly bent, turn your right leg over until it is close to the floor. With palms facing upwards, hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are now going to follow the same sequence to stretch your left leg. These 4 stretches are only being held for 9 seconds to show you. Remember to hold each stretch for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, we are going to stretch your low back and glutes. Bring your knees up to your chest. Tuck your chin and grab both of your shins. Rock side to side and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to stretch your abdominals and low back next. Lying on your stomach with your hands slightly above your shoulders, inhale and lift your shoulders into the air, but keep your pelvis on the ground. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. Next, we are going to stretch your upper back and shoulders. Go on your hands and knees and then move your hands slightly forward and then move your forehead towards the ground. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds. We are going to continue stretching your upper back and shoulders. On your hands and knees, put your right hand through your left side and go on your right shoulder. Your hand should be facing upwards. Hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds and then repeat the same sequence for your left arm. Lastly, we are going to stretch your hamstrings and calves. Going on your hands and knees, go on your toes and straighten your legs, but keep them slightly bent. Drop your heels and hold and breathe for 15 to 20 seconds, and then slowly walk yourself up. Below this lecture, you will find all the course extras. It is important to learn the basic muscles of the human body so you can understand what muscles are being stretched. This will enhance the stretching and help you on your fitness journey. In addition to learning how to stretch properly, it never hurts to have extra knowledge about various aspects of health, such as your skin and immune system. I have included a muscle summary sheet, 10 easy ways to distress, ab exercise chart that stretches for low back pain, calendar for fitness, a healthy skincare guide, and an immune system guide. Just simply click on the links to download the sheets. You can also share this with your family and friends. Congratulations, you have made it to the end of this course. You now have the knowledge on how to stretch your entire body safely to maximize performance and everyday living. Fitness and stretching can be such a confusing topic with so much information out there. I hope this course has helped you to understand the fundamentals of stretching. We live in a society where we are becoming less active because of technology. Our bodies were actually designed for movement. That is why it is so important to exercise and stretch. If we don't, we can develop issues like muscle tightness, low back pain, hip tightness, and high blood pressure. There's no secret to becoming flexible and reaching your goals. All it takes is to be consistent and to include stretching into your weekly routine. Remember to stay hydrated, use dynamic stretching before exercise, stag stretching after exercise, and stretch at least 2 to 3 times a week. Thank you for purchasing this course, and remember, movement is medicine.